So your atmosphere is amazing. It really is. It's 90% water.
Who the f starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Yes, science!
According to a certain flat earther, the globe is an impossibility because of Walt Disney. Rockets can't work in space because fire needs air, and all of NASA's photos. Well, we all know how flat earthers feel about NASA. Should we find out exactly what he has no clue about?
Shut up and sit down, you big bald f***.
Please subscribe.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you may be. CC here, Chris from New York, Westchester County. Well, they sure are vamping things up. Let's just take a quick look, shall we?
We shall. But first, I've got some bills to pay. So today's video is sponsored by Flexis Spot. Allow me to introduce to you the E7 standing desk from Flexis Spot. This is a four-legged frame built for stability, strength, and proper daily use. The frame is made from automotive-grade steel with thickened legs, and once it's assembled, is solid. Just look. They are brilliant. And I've tested it at all different heights. Typing, leaning, and wobble tests. And it holds firm every time. You can even preset the height and it lifts smoothly even with everything on top. I've stacked gear on it. I've even sat on it. And it handles up to 540 pounds without any problems at all. Another four-legged standing desks of this quality are usually double the price. And this one, the E7 Plus frame, is only $499. And you still get a 15-year warranty and 30 days to return it. And right now, Flexis Spot is running a mega sale. So if you've been thinking of upgrading your workspace, this is the time to do it. They've got standing desks, ergonomic chairs, and premium frames like the E7 Plus, all at seriously good prices. So if you want a standing desk that's built to last, just visit flexispot.com and use code Creaky for $50 off the E7 Plus. But you better hurry because this mega sale won't last forever. Right, back to the video then.
You know what I love about the number 33 is when it appears on trucks, fire trucks, especially when they're responding to a fire, and they're on hats and shirts and, say, perhaps an office building. 33 means they have a hand on it.
Okay, so what does that say about you then? Whose hand is on you? Because I am sure that even a flat earther of your caliber is aware that C is the third letter of the alphabet, which makes you the 33 king. Now, I don't know if that was by design or if it's just that you're too dumb to see the irony in what you've just claimed, 33. Sorry, I meant CC.
I see they're still talking about the ball. This impossible imagination of Walt Disney and all the scientists and everybody that wants you to think that you're insignificant, that you live on some, spinning wet thing in space and stars and all this other nonsense.
So as far as I can tell, CC's argument here is that we've all been duped since childhood by Walt Disney for some reason. But I've got to wonder, if Disney is behind all this, why do the tides still work? Why does the moon have phases? I mean, I've been to a Disney park and they can't even get the queues to move quickly, let alone orchestrate a worldwide multi-generational conspiracy on the sort of scale it would need to be if any of what Chris was saying was true.
You know, when you know deep down none of that's true.
That's just brilliant, Chris. So you've spent the last 10 years on YouTube trying to convince people that the earth is flat based on a feeling you have. So not evidence then, just a feeling.
People who tell you that you live on the ball are, one, operatives, possibly. Two, have degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, name it. If they have it, they're going to be pushing, of course, the ball.
So according to Chris, if you've got a degree, you're just an op operative for the grand ball Earth conspiracy. So you can have a master's degree, a PhD, or even, I assume, a degree in basket weaving. It doesn't matter. The second that diploma is in your hand, you are immediately recruited into a society of globe pushers, which implies that every physicist, every pilot, every civil engineer, and every single person who has ever used GPS to get a pizza is part of a grand global multi-generational hoax. I suppose I should be impressed by the level of coordination required to even pull that off. Chris, the reason so many professionals agree that the Earth is indeed a sphere isn't because they're part of a secret club, it's because the evidence is overwhelming and you have to be a special kind of stupid to believe otherwise.
Special Officer Doofy reporting.
Okay? Any architectural engineer, anybody who has any degrees up the yin-yang can't do anything because they're part of the system.
Now, if I was feeling particularly mean today, my response to that little nugget of wisdom could be, so what you're saying then, Chris, is that to be a flat earther is to be an uneducated douchebag who wouldn't know a good, solid piece of evidence if somebody stapled it to his forehead. Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Don't you realize when you get your doctrine, you're part of the Doctrine system? That means anybody can contact you and threaten to strip all of your medical professional things away from you.
But a PhD and an MD are two different things. So when you broke your leg a few months ago, did you go to a vet?
If you open your mouth and you start to agree on something like flat Earth.
So my doctor, my family physician, if she happened to be a flat earther, then she would be in danger of losing her right to practice medicine here in the UK. What?
So this is the main reason why we can't get any of these people to really tell the people out there. And I'm not talking about the clueless people. Those are NPCs or somebody. I don't know who they are. There's no use in ever helping them, you know. But you go down to the street and you say to yourself, why don't you bring up? Yeah, why don't you bring up flat Earth with that person? No, I like having my teeth in my head.
See, so you aren't as stupid as you sound in your videos, are you? Yeah, outside of YouTube, it's probably better to keep your flat Earth ideas to yourself. Unless, of course, you enjoy being mocked in real life as well as on the internet.
You're telling me you can shoot a rocket off into space from Earth to Mars at the velocity that we're moving at and the velocity that Mars is moving at and pinpoint accuracy right on a crater?
Yeah.
But, you know, unfortunately, you've been taught ever since you were a kid that this is true.
Yeah, but that's only because schools and universities pick a centre that educates people. They all have to remember one very important thing when they're teaching their students. And that one very important thing is that they have to teach things which are based on reality, not fantasy.
Okay, and that's when they get you as a kid. And they get the ball in front of you and keep pounding away at it, bringing you Star Trek, Star Wars, all the shows to reiterate everything that's out there.
So George Lucas is in on it as well. Well, I never. I didn't realise that Star Wars and Star Trek were documentaries.
Okay, Greg, I'm telling you, I've seen like 5 of those little teddy bear looking things. One of them had a spear.
Well, guess they were real.
Why not? I mean, don't people get it yet? I mean, it's just so obvious. It's so obvious who the real people are and who the fake people are. Who's pushing the ball and who knows what we live on.
Well, not flat earthers, that's for certain.
It's ridiculous. These people who believe in the ball think that you can see light from trillions and trillions of miles away. When you can't even see a flashlight less than 2 blocks away, it disappears into the atmosphere. And that's how the sun goes away.
The sun doesn't actually go away though, does it, Chris? Our position on Earth rotates away from the sun. Look, it doesn't matter. But by Chris's reasoning, because I can't hear somebody whispering at me from across a football stadium, a jet engine would also be completely silent at the same distance. The level of absurdity in equating a flashlight to a star is, well, it's something, I'm sure.
So your atmosphere is amazing. It really is. It's 90% water.
90% water? Okay, now let's assume for a second that that's true. The atmosphere would be so thick with water vapour, every day would be like being in a steam room, a sauna and a hurricane all at once. So let's ground this with a dose of reality, shall we? This is one of those claims that can be debunked with some seriously basic information. The atmosphere is not 90% water. It is, in fact, predominantly nitrogen, which makes up about 78% of it, and oxygen, which is about 21%. And that leaves us with a teeny-weeny 1% for everything else, including argon, carbon dioxide, and, yeah, water vapour. Water vapour's contribution is usually between 1 and 4% of the atmosphere's volume, but it can fluctuate. The number 90% is just good old-fashioned wrong. It's not even close, Chris. The simple fact that we breathe in air and not drowned in is a pretty good indicator that you're wrong by a mile.
You know what happens to a light when you go away in atmosphere? It disappears. Okay? That's why you can't see China. You can't see Spain. You can't see all these different countries. You can't see Mount Everest. Okay? It's the atmosphere.
Ah, atmosphere, not the flat then, Chris. So the atmosphere is not only a fantastic steam room, but it's also an incredible tool for making entire continents vanish from our view. So if I get a really powerful telescope, am I supposed to just see a white haze where China should be? I suppose that explains why we don't have binoculars that let us see the Eiffel Tower from London. It's not a conspiracy, it's just a bad day for the atmosphere. I've heard it all now. The reason you can't see countries like China, Spain, or even Mount Everest from your current location isn't a mysterious atmospheric haze. It's the curvature of the Earth, you silly goose.
And then it does make sense, you know.
I know, that's why I said it.
I mean, rockets are the easiest fucking things. You know, yeah, okay, look, I'm not saying they're not building rockets, but they're not going into space, okay? You can be an engineer and build a rocket and think it's going somewhere, but it's not going into space. It's just like you building a plane. Is that going to go somewhere? No. It's going to go 50 feet up in the air, and you're going to ride around, you're going to remote control the thing, and then it's going to come down.
Go on then, Chris, because I can see you're desperate too. You tell us why you think people invest billions of dollars building rockets only to not send them anywhere.
But you have to understand that rockets are impossible in space. There's no atmosphere in space. A flame needs air. What does vacuum mean to you? Vacuum means there's no air. Right? Yeah, you understand? You're with me on this, right? Why? I know you are. Come on, you're with me on this, right? There's no air. What do you need to start fire?
Well, you need oxygen, which is why the big brains who design rockets for space give them oxygen tanks to mix with the fuel so they can move through space. And in the context of space, a vacuum is just a region that is essentially devoid of matter. Rockets don't burn like a bonfire, Chris. The fire is a byproduct of combustion. What they use is an oxidizer, which is essentially the oxygen they need to burn, all packed neatly into a tank right alongside the fuel. They're not looking for a cosmic oxygen tank on the way up, you clown. It's a self-contained system. It's not magic, it's chemistry. And it's been a known thing for about a century.
And how do you control a spacecraft in space?
Thrust. And I didn't even have to look that up.
Excellent.
Thank you.
That's great. If you believe in that, you're delusional.
Belief doesn't come into it, Chris. We can actually observe it, so we don't need to believe it. See, that's the difference between globe earthers and flat earthers. We are capable of accepting the evidence which is presented to us. Flat earthers, not so much.
What are your plans? Who's ever watching me who's not a flat earther, what are your plans?
Well, I'm planning to finish making this video, then I may polish the editing a little bit, upload it to YouTube, and let everybody that watches me laugh at you until a little bit of pee comes out. What about you, Chris? What are you up to this afternoon?
Puff it up! Puff it! Come on! No, it's not dog shit, it's bullshit!
That's actually a handy piece of information, Chris, because the number of time I have seen in the comments below my videos about you, what the hell is CC smoking? Well, we have our answer. So not only does he talk shit, but he also smokes it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you again on Sunday night at 6 p.m. for episode 26 of the Creaky Blinder Show Live. Love you. Bye.
Out of everything that's on the internet, this is the best thing.
Where's Peter Pan's favourite place to eat out? Wendy's.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, ever, ever.